Thank you so much, Luther and Mika, for putting this together. I'm super excited to be here. My name is Brittany. Hi. For the past almost 4 years, I've been living in Boston, working on some specific brands in the city with different restaurants, kind of just building those brands, doing a lot of education, but like this is really exciting for me because I get to bring my passion of bartending and all the experience that I had running restaurants and combine it with the really amazing brands that I work for, and then get to meet new people and do things like this at restaurants that I love. But I feel like, is everybody here because they, besides enjoy drinking cocktails, she is a little bit scary.
Cocktails.
Yeah, so that's a fun Cool. All right, so this is geared towards like cocktails that, one, pretty much everybody likes to drink. Two, are easy for you to make again at home, and then three, are like on theme with the season, right? So I'll just like give you a quick overview of what I did for that sangria. But in the gift bags over there, there's going to be recipe cards for everything that we make today, so you can have it at home and just remake it then. But when it comes to sangria, I really like to go either Malbec or a Pinot Noir if I'm going red. And you can do this exact same recipe with a white too, if you prefer a white. This has a full bottle of Captain Morgan spiced rum in it. Hello. I also really enjoy brandy in mine. I just don't have a brandy in my portfolio, so today that's why we're doing Captain Morgan spiced rum. But it's really nice, gives it a little bit more body. And then I added orange juice, cranberry juice, a little bit of apple cider. So, and then I topped it off with ginger beer. The cool thing about that is you don't have to add any sugar to that sangria recipe because all of those ingredients already have like a little bit in it, and it still has a nice mouthfeel. If you want more bubbles, you can top with like club soda in your glass or whatever it is. But I think that that's really well balanced, and you throw whatever fruit in. One trick that I really, really like that you'll notice like on your table, I love dried fruits and garnishes. You want to make a cocktail that tastes good and looks good, and this does all of that without costing me like time in the kitchen making these garnishes. So I put a bunch of, I have freeze-dried strawberries in there. I did put some fresh pears just because I like what pears do in sangria, and what's the cranberries? Cranberries. So that's pretty much it for sangria. Like I said, it's on that recipe card, but I just wanted to kind of start with that. I think it's a great welcome cocktail to kind of get your palate going. But now we're gonna go into something a little bit more exciting, tequila. Who drinks tequila? Yeah. So, I love tequila, like one of my favorite spirits in the world. I am gonna just really quickly, we're gonna use Don Julio Blanco today. I work with Don Julio Blanco. You will also see on these shakers that you have is De Leon tequila. That's another tequila that is in my portfolio. We're not going to be drinking that today, but in case you're like, what the hell is this? That's what that is. So Don Julio Blanco, really quick. I mean, has anybody had Don Julio before? Okay. Obviously, super high quality tequila, right? It's all made from 100% agave, which is the raw ingredient that makes tequila. And that's what gives you that really bad hangover that people talk about when they drink tequila, is if it's not a pure quality tequila, it's going to make you feel like crap. So that's why I love working with Don Julio. Has some really bright citrus notes that are gonna taste awesome in this cocktail. So we're gonna start with the apple cider margarita, which is on the right-hand side. Margarita is the #1 ordered cocktail in the US. I also think it is like the most perfect cocktail. I really don't care how basic it is. It's the morning, afternoon, night. It doesn't matter. Like you can have one for breakfast and it's nice and light and refreshing. Like it fits everything. And it's a really easy cocktail to just riff off of the same way we did with this apple cider one here. So a couple tricks. This is your shaker. This is what we call a 3-piece shaker, and this is really awesome to have at your home bar because you don't need those two like really big tins, right? You're not making that many at a time. This is called a Japanese jigger. They can come in like different shapes. Some of them are a little bit rounded, whatever. I prefer to have this one. So there's two different sides. This side, if you fill it all the way to the top, it's 1 ounce. Full all the way is 2 ounces. And then there's a line inside for 1.5 ounces. So when we pass this around with the bottle of Don Julio for this cocktail, you're gonna fill it to the 1.5 ounces, so that line on the inside. The only other thing that we need to know for this cocktail, and then I'm gonna let you go ahead and make it, is the cinnamon sugar rim. So I have a hack for cinnamon sugar rims. So my trick for that is those little orange like rinds basically that you have right there. If you're gonna cut a fresh orange to put in a cocktail, just save those two little ends that you cut off and you use that for rimming your glass. So you'll take your glass, you'll take the fleshy side down, put it around the rim of your glass, and then you're just gonna roll it in the cinnamon sugar. So that's how you're gonna get your rim without the mess. Adds a really nice little orange flavor to it too. Super easy, works for margaritas if you're juicing fresh limes. Save the little end of the lime, put it in your salt. Like that is my trick. That's the only way I bring my glasses. So what I suggest doing is preparing your glassware first. So rimming your glass. And then what you can do is start building your cocktail in your tin. And what I think that you should do when you're shaking this cocktail specifically is, one, please just make sure it's closed all the way. And when you shake in these tins, I always put one hand over the top, one hand at the bottom, and I shake like this, again, to make sure that it doesn't like explode everywhere. But instead of using your strainer this time, just open up after you've shaken your cocktail, just open it up and dump in with the ice, right? Because you'll get that really nice froth. So what you have is the apple cider in the very first one, then you have your lime juice, and then there's orange juice. All right, go for it. This is a play on a Moscow Mule, but I'm using whiskey in it. Does anybody drink bourbon, whiskey? Any preferences?
Yes.
Bullet Rye?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Bullet. So that's why I picked Bullet Rye for this cocktail, because I wanted to make sure you could taste the whiskey in this Moscow Mule, and the spiciness of the ginger is really nice with the spiciness of the rye. Vodka, lime juice, a little bit of simple syrup, and ginger beer. Simple syrup, if you're gonna make it at your house, does everybody know what it is? There it is, yeah. Equal parts sugar, water, heat it up. That's your sugar syrup. That's the easiest way to sweeten a cocktail. So besides the fact that we're obviously substituting out vodka for whiskey, I made a special syrup/puree here for you at my house, and on the recipe cards that you're taking home with you, I gave you the recipe for how to make this at your house if you wanted to. I know the color is not the most appealing, but it looks like a pumpkin pie because I added all the spices to it. So essentially what I did is I made a simple syrup. I just got pumpkin puree and I put that into the simple syrup. I added, you add whatever spices you want. I added cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, and a little bit of allspice. So that's going to be our sweetening agent. I chose lemon because lime can sometimes be like really sharp, so the lemon will play a little bit nicer with all the flavors going on. Then you're going to top it with the ginger beer. So put everything else, bullet, spice syrup, lemon juice, ice, ginger beer. Then you have a couple options in front of you for what you want to do with a garnish. So we have candied ginger, really nice and pretty on your Moscow Mule. But what I really recommend doing, simple, like super showstopper, is you take your piece of cinnamon, you take your lighter, and you're gonna light the end of the cinnamon until it starts to smoke. You wanna like, almost kind of like you're lighting incense, right? You wanna make sure it catches and it burns because you're gonna blow it out. You're gonna let it sit in your cocktail and it's gonna keep smoking and smell delicious, and it's sexy and it's fun. So the reason why you do these in these mugs, or like you see the Moscow Mules in the copper mugs, keeps it nice and cold, keeps your carbonation. It won't go flat if you drink it slower, which none of you will, so don't worry about that. All right, go for it.
we did some bartending, some cocktails, and I'm some margarita.
I had a great time. I'm from Milan. I came up here today, and I enjoyed it. The atmosphere, the drinks, the food, everything. I just loved it. So I have every time I come up here, I'm coming here. This is my spot now.